Bottom of the hour, it's time now for Strategy Talk, where the focus is same-sex marriage and what it will mean for the candidates come November. This morning, the Washington Post is reporting that President Obama's announcement has rallied Christian conservatives around Mitt Romney, with pastors in key swing states readying sermons against gay marriage and activists launching social media campaigns. Joining me is Alice Stewart, former press secretary for Rick Santorum's presidential campaign, and Margie Omero, Democratic strategist and founder of Momentum Analysis. Ladies, good day. Thank you both for being here.
Hi, Alice.
Thanks for having me.
Alice, I'll begin with you. Are the reports of a conservative rallying cry accurate?
Well, certainly what we're seeing more and more is once Governor Romney became the likely nominee, social conservatives certainly began to rally behind him. But when you have the President of the United States saying something which is a threat to traditional marriage, of course, social conservatives are rallying together, standing up and defending what is the backbone of our society, traditional marriage, marriage between one man and one woman, which is the backbone of our society and the core of many people's faith and beliefs. And certainly when you have someone challenging that, social conservatives are standing together and speaking out loud and clear that this is not the way that the direction this country needs to head.
Okay, Margie, what about the president? Does he gain any voters from his support for gay marriage, or were they going to vote for him anyway?
Well, I think both candidates may see an increase in enthusiasm and turnout. The difference is Obama's had that enthusiasm from his base before. Mitt Romney has never had this enthusiasm from his base. So I see a little bit more of a continued struggle with Mitt Romney to get the conservative base out in enthusiastic form, as well as reaching independents, a majority of which, according to Gallup, agree with President Obama's announcement.
To what extent do either of you believe that Mitt Romney, in your case I'll pose to you, Alice, and of course the president to you, Margie, that either of them will lose moderates? Alice, you first.
Well, we certainly don't expect that to happen. What this is going to do, this will attract social conservatives. And what we're seeing more and more, Governor Romney is not going to get tangled up in this debate. What he's focused on is what people across this country are concerned with. Who is the best person to get us out of this economic slump? And more people trust Governor Romney to help turn the economy around and create jobs and create an environment for businesses to grow and people to prosper.
So then you're suggesting
that's how
that
he is going to attract. That's how he'll attract moderates and independents and the strong social conservatives.
So you're suggesting that the social issues like this are not going to be as important to them as the economy?
Jobs and the economy are the top issues of this election, and this will be a referendum on President Obama's record, and he has a record of failure. His policies have failed to make things better for the American people.
Okay.
And what this is a distraction. As we get closer to November, if we continue to have high unemployment, we have gas prices at the prices that they are now, people will come out resoundingly for Governor Romney because they trust that he will turn the economy around.
Gas prices are dropping. They've been dropping 5 weeks in a row, and Tom Close of the Oil Price Information Service suggests they're going to be lower by July 4th. So that having been said, Margie, the question back to you, does the president risk losing any moderates as a result of his stance on gay marriage?
I don't think so. The polls are moving so quickly on this. If you look at polls from a year ago, 2 years ago, they're different now, and they may be different still in November. And however, I do agree with Alice that moderates and as well as swing voters are going to be looking at the record and the policies on the economy. And President Obama, under his administration, 4.25 million new private sector jobs. Mitt Romney wants to do the opposite in his words, which I guess would mean the opposite of that. And going back to the failed policies of the Bush administration, which a plurality of Americans think that's what got us into this mess.
Well, I do have a point to make on the polls. Right now, they're basically a statistical dead heat, about 52 to 48 on the gay marriage issue. But polls are one thing, but look at the votes. Every state that this has come to for gay marriage ban, people have come out resoundingly in support of traditional marriage and voted down gay marriage. In more than 30 states, the gay marriage ban has been enacted, and that's what really matters. And you can talk about polls all day long, but the true votes, when people get in there and have to really put their money where their mouth is, they speak out resoundingly for traditional marriage, and that goes across the board for Republicans and conservatives.
Margie, are there any particular states, swing states, that you worry about for the president on this particular issue?
Look, I think that ultimately this issue is, just if voters are on the wrong or disagree with the president on this, that doesn't mean they're going to turn out against him and for that. So even though you have some states like Florida and Ohio where polls are a little bit different than other swing states like Nevada or Colorado, I think ultimately in the swing battleground states, it's going to be about the economy and who is going to move the country forward and who has a difficult time talking about these issues. Obama has at least a clear position on gay marriage. while Mitt Romney, like with a lot of other issues, you don't really know where he stands. He's been all over the place.
May I ask both of you, with regard to this particular topic, though, do you think either candidate will want to be focusing on this as we get closer to November, or is there some wisdom in having put this now some 6 months prior to the election and get the discussion now and then focus differently? Alice, I'll let you go first.
Well, certainly. I mean, let's if we want to have this discussion, let's have this discussion and move on. As we get closer to November, it will shore up more onto jobs in the economy. But let me make a point here that Governor Romney has been clear with his position on this issue. He spoke once again this morning at a great commencement address at Liberty University, where he said resoundingly that he supports a traditional marriage between one man and one woman. He said that all along. So his position on this issue has been very clear.
Though I think where the muddying comes, Alice, is when he says that he is fine with gay couples adopting.
Well, what he was referring to in that interview on Thursday was states that allow that. And Friday he made that quite clear that that's what he was referring to. But his position on this issue is crystal clear, that he believes in marriage between one man and one woman.
Okay, last word to you, Margie.
I think this is yet another topic that Mitt Romney feels uncomfortable talking about. And voters want to hear where the presidential candidates stand on a variety of issues and should feel comfortable saying what they mean. And Mitt Romney yet again struggles. He struggled when he had an openly gay member on his staff and had this real gaffe when it came to that. He has, goes back and forth on a variety of issues. He has difficulty getting his Republican base excited about him. So I think this is more of a trouble for Romney than for the president.
All right, Alice Stewart and Margie Omero. Ladies, thanks so much. We'll see you again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. Have a great day.